Chris, difficult to know where to start with that, really. Let's give us your verdict on that as a whole.
I think when you score 3 goals at home in the Premier League, trying to get a draw, I think that's a disappointing aspect of it. I think, looking at the game, obviously the narrative from everybody, and I get it, was home form, goals conceded, being out of the game after 25 minutes. So we had to make sure we did something about it. When you're talking to me, what are you going to do about it? We had to have a game plan to give ourselves a foothold in the game and allow our belief to grow, which I think we did. We weren't at our most adventurous first half. We had to make sure that, when we had an opportunity to go forward, that we were cautious, of course, because of what can happen in the Premier League and what can happen when you're playing the likes of Fulham as well. People talk about the top sides, but I think they turned Spurs over last week, didn't they? 3-0 or whatever, just before the national break. So, the players. So we had to give ourselves a foothold in the game. So first base reached at half time. Message to the players at half time in the change room. Just need to show a little bit more quality, a little bit more belief, enjoy the ball a little bit more, and they did. They enjoyed the ball. Scored 3 good goals from our point of view, and the flip side, obviously, again another set piece as hurt us. The timing of that was a poor one, and then two incredible finishes that get them somewhat out of the game.
Yeah, as you said, you had so much chucked at you about the manner of the home games, but for 86 minutes, I think it was, this was almost the perfect performance, wasn't it? You soaked it up, and then you took the moments when
the game doesn't last. It doesn't last for 90 minutes now. It lasts for 115 minutes. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
It's getting quite a long game, this.
Yeah. I think there's 3 or 4 minutes between you going 4-1 up and obviously that being ruled out, and then 3-2.
Yeah.
That's a huge swing, isn't it? In such a short
unbelievable.
Space of time.
Yeah, that's the thing that we've talked about in the office afterwards. The small margins, the if it is offside, and the half a yard from Vinay, I think he's the one that got called for offside. The half a yard, I think psychologically as well, that, and the timing of obviously, it goes from 3-1 to 4-1. Fabulous. We're all in a good place. We know we haven't won the game, and we knew there was talk from the fourth official that it was going to be the minimum of 12 minutes. So we knew that we had some football still to play, but I think that the timing of the second goal was one that really hurt us and gave them the lift that they took forward with the introduction of the players that they brought onto the pitch, and how stretched we are as a squad, in terms of the changes that we had to make. But they obviously, Traore coming on, Jimenez coming on, Tete, international player coming on, Tom Kearney, Deco Overy. We know the quality that they've got. So that's it's something that again we had to deal with, or try to deal with, and unfortunately in the end we just couldn't deal with.
Yeah, I have to ask you about the 14 minutes of injury time. There was a lot of frustration in the ground at the officials at the end. Do you share that frustration as well?
Yeah, but I got done a couple of quid a few weeks ago, didn't I, Dan? So I'm basically just going to straight back everything in terms of my opinion on certain things on that. So I've got nothing to say about it. I'll just keep that to myself because, like I said, I'm not prepared to offer my honest opinion again, which I did, and get absolutely
rinsed.
Rinsed. Good word. Good way of putting it.
On the positives, Ben and Ollie, the partnership.
Great.
We saw a little bit out of Bournemouth about how they link up together, but again today, the cross for.
I mean, listen, Ben came in to play off the top, and to play off the side. So he's been outstanding, and of course, I'm sure if we'd have been able to stick them two together for a little bit more time, then we would have reaped the rewards of two really good players that have obviously got an understanding and a partnership growing on their goals from our point of view were great. They're looking for each other, they're playing off each other, especially second half, because we had to play more. We couldn't just keep turning the ball over. I think you have to understand, the manner of the defeats and what that does to you psychologically. When you're coming out, and I should imagine every time somebody, and from the punters as well, every time they get in and around our area, people think that something's going to happen, which you have to overcome, which we did by putting our bodies on the line. And I'm not so sure that Fulham had an incredible amount of opportunities. We opened up, the game opened up, they had opportunities, we had opportunities, we took ours, they took theirs. Disappointing yet again from a set play. They score from a set play, which is totally avoidable from our point of view, like it was at Bournemouth. And my overriding disappointing emotion is that, and it's possibly happened about 4 or 5 times since I've been here, that, we have to turn the 1 into 3 and the 0 into 1, and we've not managed to do that. Scoring 5 goals in the Premier League should be enough to at least win one of the games.
Yeah, just finish with a couple of housekeeping questions. George, was he close to making it? George Ball?
No, he's out for 6 weeks. He got injured playing for Greece, so he'll be out for 6 weeks. I think there's 7 weeks left of the season.
That's another huge blow in it for you as well as him for this situation. And Tom Davis was absent today. Is he injured?
Yeah, Tom's out for. Tom will be out for a month. He had a hamstring injury at the training ground.
Thank you. Cheers, Chris.
Any more on this?
Hey, you all right?
Yeah. Can I just ask about Ollie Arblas?
Yeah.
He was, he had a real positive impact on the game, and his blocks were important for you.
Yeah, it was
talent.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for him because he's a footballer, but that type of part of the game we're delighted with. He played the whole of the 90 minutes on Wednesday night for England in that elite level. Delighted he got a cap. I'd like to think he might have been protected a little bit more, knowing everybody knew that he was going to play. He was going to play in the Premier League, make his home Premier League debut, which is quite a big thing for his local club and a club that he loves. But obviously he enjoys playing for his country as well. So I think you'll take the bits out of that, what I'm saying. And maybe a reason that sort of towards the end of the game he was flagging, because emotionally I know what it does to you and what it takes out of you. But I thought his performance, especially second half, was part of our better performance with the ball.